and also I was an FBLA teacher, Business Leaders of America. I taught ROTC at Ramona High School, Ramona, California. Also taught ROTC up in Salinas and Ed Alvarez. Today I have a short presentation to share with the young people, the parents, and the staff about what we call our toxic environment, how to navigate the toxic environment. And I'll ask some of you some questions. So I know we have what's called top-notch young folks here because that's why they're here. The only reason why we're here today is to celebrate their success. But what I want to share with you is some keywords, phrases, and some techniques that can keep you top-notch or ichiban, right? Or number one, or moving in the right direction, right? So with that said, let's go ahead and start with the mission of Portsmouth Public Schools. The mission of Portsmouth Public Schools is to challenge the minds, challenge the bodies, and challenge the dreams of all students while focusing on excellence. Challenge, challenge, challenge. That word challenge, very interesting, right? If I did not challenge myself, I would not be here tonight. You see, years ago when I was walking through the halls in here, right, I was the stuttering kid. I was the kid that during my 9th grade semester or 9th grade year, I had to go to summer school. I was the kid during my sophomore year. I had to go to summer school. Guess what happened during my junior year? I had to go to summer school, right? The reason why is because I did not apply myself. No, I was not the top 1% like the young people here tonight, right? But as I went through the maturation process of life and through my Navy experience and all the different things that I did, I learned how to challenge myself. Yes, it's all about challenging yourself. Yeah, you made it here tonight, but guess what? What's tomorrow's challenge, right? So it's all about challenging yourself. Just what it says, challenge the mind, challenge the body, challenge your dream, right? As a master training specialist, one of the things I learned in the U.S. Navy was, whenever you do a presentation, you always want to ask somebody a word of the day, phrase of the day, question of the day, maybe a color of the day. So why would I ask you a word of the day? Since we're at an educational institution, and so I'm not going to let the young students get away without having a word of the day. So why would I do that? Some of the young people, one of the 12 students, anybody. Doesn't matter whether you're from Manor, Norcom, or Craddock, which one? Why would I have a word of the day? What's the motto of Portsmouth Public Schools? To challenge. So why would I ask you a word of the day? To engage you and to challenge you critically, right? It's about critical thinking. Remember, West didn't do the critical thinking. That's why he had to go to school in his freshman year, summer school, and sophomore year, and so forth, right? So the word of the day is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. Somebody tell me what self-efficacy is. Self-efficacy. How about self-esteem? Somebody tell me what that means. Come on, folks. You're the top 1%. You're the best of the best. Self-esteem. How you feel about yourself, right? Yeah, we've all been told about, you need self-esteem in order to be successful, correct? Everybody's been told that, right? Okay. And that's great. I mean, but to Wes, when you talk about self-esteem, it just means you feel good about yourself. And feeling good about yourself is okay, but you know what? Feeling good about yourself don't necessarily get the job done. Right? Feeling good about yourself doesn't necessarily make you challenge yourself. So the word self-efficacy means you can do something. Yeah, you can do that. See, I lacked self-efficacy when I was here because back during those years in the 70s, you could go to school and you did not have to take algebra. Yeah, the over 50 crowd. We didn't have to take algebra. You just had to take a certain level of math, and then you can keep on going. And I thought I had got away with the algebra thing until I went to college. And then when I went to college, and I was in a business course, and they said, okay, well, you have to take this critical thinking course where you have to show your math skills. Algebra, trigonometry. Like, whoa, what is that? I said, man, it's 40 years since I've been to school. See how life has some kind of way of to come back and get your opportunity cost for everything. Because I didn't challenge myself. So tonight, as we get engaged just a little, challenge yourself. It's okay. There's no right or wrong answer because we're all creatures of habit. So if you're getting used to sitting in the classroom and don't raise your hand, guess what? You're barely making it. I suspect most of you in here do raise your hand and do get engaged. But this is a total different dynamic, so you're probably saying, okay. But as you see the man on the ladder right there, below average, average, very average, guess what? Each level, he has to do what? Challenge yourself. And what's the motto of Portsmouth Public Schools? To challenge yourself. Okay? See the guy right there? I can't do it. No self-efficacy. Some of you have your classmates that every time he or she has a new challenge, guess what they do? They quit. Don't come to class. Or in today's society, get somebody else to do it. Anybody take online courses? Okay. Easy, right? Piece of cake. Well, I'm a proponent of taking the test by showing up right there physically. Me, because I think it challenges you even more. It's a greater challenge to be there. Okay. There you go. Bingo. Change the dynamics. Some of you said, where's that train at, right? I heard it. Where's the train at? Why did he put that in there? Why did Wes put that in there? Why was the train in there? You got the eyeballs looking. You got the guy running through the middle. This is America. We all love football. See the guy running through the middle? But guess what? You can't do it by yourself. It's a team effort. I'm here for the Optimist Club tonight for Miss Morgan and her team. But she's here because of the Portsmouth Public School team. And guess what? None of us can do it without you. Somebody got to block, right? Somebody got to carry the ball, right? Our future is you young people. Is somebody out here that's going to be at the Portsmouth Public Library? Miss Morgan here, we talked last week, right? Well, a couple weeks ago. I found out that she was the librarian at W.E. Waters, and I was at W.E. Waters during that time. And we just started talking. Yeah, somebody got to be the librarian. Somebody has to be the person who sit on city council. See, young folks, you don't know as you go through your maturation process, some of these folks that you see in here, you'll see them again. Right? So with that in mind, we're talking about changing dynamics, establishing goals before navigating our toxic environment. What's our toxic environment? What's a toxic environment? Surroundings, everything. How about this? Anybody ever heard of the toxic nutritional environment? That's the garbage we eat. McDonald's on every corner. Burger King, processed foods. Right? Oversaturated with salt. Okay. How about the toxic technological environment? Didn't know that, did you? How about madness? Anybody know that guy that's 40 years old with his head turned around backwards? His goal every day is to beat Madden. He ain't got no job. He's not retired. But his goal is to beat Madden. Now, come on. You done seen it before. Right? How about the toxic And I know we down south, this is the Bible Belt, the toxic religious environment. Everybody that can recite the Bible, is he or she right? Jim Jones? I'm talking about the real Jim Jones. I'm not talking about the guy, the rapper. Okay? David Koresh? Right? How about the toxic political environment? It's so bad right now, you want to go move to Canada or somewhere else, anywhere. Right? So we're talking about navigating that. If you want to do that, because you got to navigate the garbage in order to stay Ichiban or top notch or number one. So you set some goals. If you set a goal, make sure that it's realistic. When I say realistic, what does that mean? Somebody give me an example. Young people, well, yeah, I got 12 young people here that we're celebrating tonight, and they're scared to change the dynamics. So when we say realistic, what? Okay, I got one for you. Holiday season. I'm going to stop smoking. Wes doesn't smoke, but if I did smoke, we're going to use this as an example. I'm going to stop smoking. Wes smokes 10 packs a day. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, because the holiday's coming up, the season is coming up, I'm going to change. I'm going to stop in January. Is that realistic? No. Why not?
10 packs a day.
Because I smoke 10 packs a day. That's right. Now, if I set a goal to say, you know what? Instead of 10 packs at the beginning of the year, I'm going to start the process of stopping the smoking. So instead of 10 packs, that first month, I'm going to go down to how many? 9. There you go. Measurable. And then the next month, I'm going to go down to 8. Measurable. Meeting that goal. And verifiable by how? I don't have to spend $10 a pack anymore, a day, or whatever. Now I save a little bit of money so I can verify by how much money I got in my pocket. So use that when you set goals, and you'll stay Ichiban. You'll stay top person. Ichiban is what? Numero uno? That's Japan. That's Japanese, right? No Japanese speakers here? Okay. Okay. In order to move forward to navigate this system, as GCS facilitators and consultants, we use what's called the we concept. We means everybody, all encompassing. We use several theories. Right? One of them is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Anybody familiar with Maslow? You need the basics, right? Water, food, that kind of stuff, right? Survive. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow has this thing that says you can reach self-efficacy. Self-actualization. Right? Does he say that? But what happens after you reach self-actualization? Guess what? It's like winning the Super Bowl. You won it this year, but guess what? As soon as it's all over with, a couple hours later, you're like, okay, what's next? Because Portsmouth Public Schools teaches you to do what? To challenge yourself. So guess what? Maslow, I love Maslow, but the bottom line is I'm stuck on the self-efficacy thing. But self-actualization comes several times a day. For some people, it's just getting out of bed. Hey, I made it. For some people, it's just getting to school. The ones at the bottom of the ladder. You remember that ladder we saw earlier? Okay. Then we have Erikson's social theory. Anybody ever heard of Erik Erikson? My middle name is Eric, so I like that. 8 stages of development from cradle to grave. Which means what? Changing. Say again? Changing, okay. Development, okay. Ma'am, you have something to say? You're always developing. I like that. The process continues. Right? Trust versus mistrust. Somebody may miss a stage of the development. That's the guy with his hat turned around backwards, right? When you come to the gas station saying, yo, dog, can I wash the windows? Get away from me, man. That's the 40-year-old that plays Madden all day long. Trust versus mistrust, early stage. Maybe he or she can't satisfy or get a need satisfied at the early stage. What's going to happen later on in the maturation process? When they have relationships with other folks. Drama. Anybody know what drama is? You know, stuff that happens that's not necessarily right. Chaos. Anybody know somebody that keep up drama? Anybody heard of Stephen Kaufman, and you ever heard of Stephen Kaufman's drama triangle? Which says either you're a persecutor, a victim, or a nurturer. Which one are you primarily? Young folks, you're still evolving, so your goal is to keep your eyes and ears open as you navigate through this process called life. Then that brings us to Gestalt. Gestalt and TA. Gestalt, German term, which means what? Anybody? How about the, sir?
Form.
Say again, form?
Form, yeah.
Okay, form. Whole, right? All come together. Along with Gestalt. And if I were you young people, what I would do, I would research this. I wouldn't just take words out of, for what Wes says, research. Along with that, how about TA? What's TA? Anybody know what TA is? How about transactional analysis? Which means what? How you interact with other folks. Are we having a transaction right here? Yeah. Absolutely. We're having dialogue back and forth. When you talk about TA, we're talking about the child ego state, the parent and the adult. And we can break it down when we talk about the child ego state, we talk about the free child or the adaptive child. That's the one, your friend that just adapts to the situation, regardless whether it's good or bad. Then the parent ego state, right? Broken down into two. How about the critical parent? Or the nurturing parent, right? My son, I got two sons in California, and they both called me on Saturday for my birthday. That was the greatest gift I could ever have. And even though they're grown men, they still said, Dad, I love you. You know how powerful that is? But my dad, he was in the Navy too. But he was the critical parent. He always told me what I couldn't do. You can't do that. Why don't you be like everybody else? Dad is still over here at level 02. I still love him. But as I went through the maturation process, I understood that he just didn't know. Okay. So right now, what we're in right now is what's called the adult ego, of which what you want to be primarily in at all times, because that's the critical thinker. That's the one that accomplishes goals and objectives. That's the one that allows the garbage to go past his or her ears. And that's how you stay number one. Or Ichiban. Right? Then that's Daniel Goleman. Anybody heard Daniel Goleman? And EQ? Nobody heard of Daniel? You have, sir? Okay. Emotional intelligence. We call it EQ, or he calls it, he coined it as EQ. Yeah, everybody in here know about IQ, right? But when we talk about EQ, emotional competence, emotional literacy, right? When we say emotional literacy, what does that mean? And why is that important to you? These are soft skills that you're going to use in the workplace. These are soft skills you're going to use as you continue to work, move forward, and be that leader. Emotional literacy, all it means is that you can read other people and you can read and understand yourself. So when you step in a particular dynamic or space, you know where you at and you know how to navigate in order to be successful. There's some folks who are not emotionally competent, or they're what's called emotionally illiterate. They cannot empathize with anybody else because it's all about them. They may still be healing themselves. You have to recognize these folks because these are the ones that's going to be hating on you. They're going to tell you, you think you're better than me. You know that phrase that I cannot stand that phrase. When I heard somebody say, you think you're better than me, I want to say, you feel inferior yourself. Why don't you just use that? It ain't about me. It's about you. It's about what you didn't get in one of those stages that Erskine was talking about. See, Old West is in stage number 7, which means I want to give something back. When I turned 40 years old, I had my epiphany. Aha, I got it. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then it comes down, after emotional intelligence, it comes down to your experience and knowledge. And that's why you must continue to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself over and over and over again. It's just like lifting weights. When you lift weights and you put more weights on it, guess what? You can lift even more. And that's what life's all about. It's about lifting the heavy weights. It's about thinking critically. It's about asking questions. It's about getting engaged. It's about enhancing your what? Self-efficacy. Because, yeah, you can do it. And, ladies and gentlemen, what I just shared with you, the 5 pillars of the we concept. If you take those on board, if you get on your smart board and you research it, and you pay close attention when you step in the sphere, I guarantee you, you'll continue to be successful. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. God bless everybody. Hopefully we'll see you at the top.